get out of the way.
Don't trip over the little chair.
Go ahead and go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Alright, roll call, you're not a place first.
Um,
Let's just do place first.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call.
Tom, Jeff, Bill,
Here.
Wes,
Yep.
Eric, and Randy and Hunter are all absent.
We're probably busy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Who's the ones you want to sign? Make a motion, we accept the minutes from last meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion, those have a chance to review the plans?
Yeah.
Everybody's good?
Yeah.
Make a motion, we accept the claims from last.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion, we approve, accept monthly bank statements.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, old business, Cheeseman property.
I got the lien filed. That was about a disaster. We get it over there. I got everything ready. Kristen went over, filed it, and then, what was it, like the next day or 2 days later, she called and she's like, you got the name wrong on here. Like, I had it to Bruce Cheeseman, Florida, whatever. Well, it has to be the name on the that's on the GIS, yes, on the trust thing, yeah.
Whatever, yeah.
So we had to, so we paid to file it the 25, then I had to pay to release it, and then pay to file it again. So,
No.
It's done now though.
yeah, it's done.
Who's the one who's mowing?
Cheeseman.
Which one was that?
I don't have a clue. And that's the thing too, we sent I don't understand, and I know there was discussion of that when I first started about them getting that bill, and it's like over $2,000, like they never pay. So I think it's just water and trash. I can't remember, but they've never paid, and we keep sending them the bill, so I'm like, well, what the heck? Because it came back from the post office the other day, and she went up there and asked Rusty. He said, oh, they're gone, they moved.
It's a vacant house.
The one on Walnut down here.
And the bills for water and
Trash.
trash.
So, and they refused to pay, and I know that was brought up when I very first started, because our Linda was still coming in here, and I'm like, well, I don't even remember what that was, why we just let it go, like what, I mean, it's over $2,000.
I can't remember now. I kind of vaguely remember that.
Yeah. Unless I go back and look at minutes and see what was discussed then, because I think they were even here and talking about it when it was brought up.
Yeah.
Is that the one where they're still on septic?
Yes.
Refused to be hooked to the town
Yes.
sewer system, but they were taking town water?
Yeah, I think so.
But their consumption's always 0. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with that, or what we do, because I mean,
Yeah.
it keeps generating a bill.
Well, I mean, they're not actively using water now, are they?
No.
Or the properties, I mean, if it's vacant, the meter's been pulled.
Well, we just got it back.
But I don't think the balance increases at all.
It does.
It does it?
Yeah.
I don't pay attention. I just know we send it out monthly regardless,
Yeah.
So they're just getting charged the monthly minimum?
probably. So it's adding like $110 a
At
month.
one point in time, were they using town water? Or is
I'd
it
have
always
to look back
red?
and see, but like recently, it's like been 0. So.
Since they moved out, or,
And I don't even, which he claimed he wasn't, didn't ever stay there. But I know trash was being picked up there and they're still not paying the trash bill.
I think that he came up here and, did you see the guy that came up here and complained when they did pull his trash
Yes.
container?
Yeah.
is it the other brother, is that who
Yeah.
sat in the middle?
Yeah, and he was, yeah, I kinda remember that now. Well, maybe we ought to pull the meter and the trash can and, see if that makes anybody come up for air
And if he comes complaining, he doesn't get anything
until he pays the
bill.
balance, right?
Okay.
Then he'll have a reconnect fee and all that if he comes back.
If they really truly weren't using anything, why wouldn't they just come to the town and put it in a home for construction purposes, to waive, ask the town to waive any fees, because, you know, you're disconnecting me for now, because I mean, you can't
Pay
own
the
it.
trash. I mean,
That's it, so I mean, I don't get the whole story behind, I mean, what, it makes no sense, because
Yeah.
there's provisions you can take to not have a bill.
Yeah.
You know, if the house is under construction, or you're renovating, or you're tearing down, you just, you know, you're not gonna get charged a minimum monthly bill, but you can't occupy a home in Indiana without being hooked to the utility. You can't get an occupancy permit for it.
Right.
So I don't understand the whole game they're playing, that doesn't make any sense, when there's a legal way to avoid all this. So that makes me think that they're doing something they shouldn't be doing, or why wouldn't they have just taken care of it?
Yeah. I think there was some question as to whether or not he was I think he claimed he was living in Union City or something.
That's what I think with his
With
girlfriend.
his girlfriend,
Yeah.
was the story that I recall, and that he wasn't staying there, and, but he would come and back and forth sometimes, but he was mostly living over there, that's,
Which may be the case because Rusty said he has a forwarding address for Union City for one of them. I don't know which one, but.
yeah.
Well, it'd have to be that one
Yeah.
because the other
Then
one,
why didn't we forward that?
That's what
Instead of returning it back to us.
we're not even,
Maybe he's not accepting it.
It
Return to
was literally
sender.
like the next day.
I just follow through with your procedures to disconnect him for non-payment and pull the meter and and see if
Do we ever reclaim that money?
the water, well, you can try.
Gotta hold
It
that
seems
one,
like
I'm gonna try.
one of
We're
two
gonna
options
try.
tend
We're
to
gonna-
happen, they just ditch the property, move on, then the next thing you know, it's up for tax sale, or they sell it to somebody, and then we end up releasing it so that they can move forward with their life.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
unfortunately, it's not like sewage where you can get put a lien on the property. You can't do that with water, so a lot of times you just end up eating the water sometimes. Now we're talking about perhaps maybe trying to take some collection action against some of these folks, but,
Yeah, there's a loophole in the system that's been exploited.
yeah.
We're trying to get that fixed.
Sounds like you're doing a good job with it though, so keep it up. Any other discussion on?
So what's the
property?
next step after this? Do I need to leave this on the agenda?
No, it's not, I mean, I would say on the easement thing, oh, which one?
The lien?
The lien? No, I mean, you've got the lien filed, that's all you need to do.
wait a year.
Wait and see if, when
Do
the
we always,
property.
do we have to refile every year on those liens? No, this is a one-time lien fee, you file it?
Okay.
So, should, hopefully, when they go to pay their property taxes, or if they don't pay it, then it'll go for tax sale eventually.
So I just need to keep checking on that and
Make sure that,
I started a little spreadsheet because I was like, good lord, I don't remember.
I'll do it the
setting
last day
myself
like
up.
I did the last time.
Like
properly.
he has for 45 years.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Or will get sold on the internet to somebody out of Nebraska. That's not even a citizen. Okay, Top Hat B&B Bar and Grill. Where are we at with this deal? Hmm?
I haven't heard anything.
Hadn't heard anything?
Or did you guys ever go meet him? Because I think you guys were scheduled to go meet him.
Nobody
at
told me
Logan.
he'd give me his opinion on me in the town at the gas pump at the Packasack. If that counts for anything, I guess that's a meeting.
So the day you sent that out, did anybody show up? I drove by there and stopped, and he was not there.
I was in the area as well. I think that's the same day he told me all about it.
But he filled it in and backed more vehicles in.
Just so everyone knows, he has a similar opinion of all of us. Just we'll leave it at that.
He liked me until I got on board.
He'll wave at me, but it's like,
I guess I don't know if I even need to table, I don't know what we're even, I mean, it's in process, so just table for it to stay on the agenda so we don't lose track of it. We'll just table it to see if there's any, we filed legally, I think he's just gonna outweigh this. I don't know.
So has he done anything that we wanted him to do? I know he filled the hole.
That's about it. And I don't think it's really filled
No.
full, but
He said he's done everything he's required to do in his opinion, but however, okay. Table. McGuire. Finished up anything, Jeff?
David Humble called me on the 22nd of last month.
Is this the same discussion we had in the parking lot? Did he ever show up?
No, nobody's been
He
here
was supposed to
yet.
be out there, right?
He was supposed to be here. He said, give him 2 weeks, I'll have somebody here. That's been still nobody here. Last I talked to Randy, the stuff's still not done. I informed the guy, you got a letter from the lawyer, we're not paying you, plain and simple. I understand.
So at some point, are they just in breach of contract? I thought that's what we discussed.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we've been doing so far is giving them an opportunity to cure, right? We put them on notice.
Yeah, there's 5
and,
boxes of stuff in a.
You know, I think at some point, your patience is they're either gonna come or your patience is gonna run out. We're gonna either, just notify them that, hey, you're in breach of contract, we're done, we're out.
Yeah.
You know,
The only thing I hate having this outstanding bill against us that just keeps getting handed down at some point.
I know.
We're all not gonna be on here, you know,
right,
and then.
that's the
it's handed to-
risk you run is, you know, is at some point, they're gonna take legal action against the town and say, hey, you know, you didn't pay this bill, now we're in a legal fight. I think we're in fairly decent standing on that, but it's gonna be something that may, you know, rear its ugly head at some point.
What is the money that we're holding in retainage from them?
The original contract.
How
You know,
much?
it was 100 and some, what was it, no, 50
40 or
I thought it was
50,000?
close to 50,000.
some $1,000 a year for the next X amount of years.
A lot of years, yeah.
And they're not doing anything about that?
I've sent them emails, I've emailed whoever, Jeff had sent me the email address. I've emailed on the paperwork it says to also direct inquiries to something called, some probably generic email box called info or customer service at McGuire. I sent them a certified letter. I need to check and see if I ever got service on that. Who knows, given the way the post office works nowadays. But it sent it to their corporate headquarters in Minnesota or South Dakota or where, I think South Dakota is.
South
where
Dakota,
they're out of.
but I also had a call from a guy in Washington State. So it's a screwed up situation because when it all started, Dan Morrow was the guy that wrote the order out. Then I dealt with a guy in South Dakota who was the big boss. Well, I wasn't getting no answers, no calls, no return, nothing. So I got a hold of Dan. Dan said, well, he's in the middle of divorce. It's an ugly divorce, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's not my problem.
Obviously.
Went on again, still no answers on anything, called Dan. He said, well, they fired him. Okay, now something's gotta happen.
Yeah.
So they're always having an excuse, and we've had contractors from Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, everybody that's worked on it. And out of all them groups, and I don't want to sound prejudiced, but there's all Mexicans and only one could speak halfway English. They come sometime on a weekend, nobody knew they was even here and cut the lock off. Don't even know what they've done. It's just
So how long has this been going on?
since I got on the board.
Few years
So
now.
we-
I mean, at least 2 or 3 years ago is when we signed.
This is the
the-
4th year.
Yeah.
This is the 4th year.
Tommy, would you not let somebody pay you? We gotta do
No.
something.
Well, I mean, you could always be proactive about it and sue them, right? We could sue them and get what's called a declaratory judgment and say, basically, under that scenario, you're asking a court to say, they breached the contract, you guys are released, right? So, I mean, that is an option if you wanted to go that route, is to sue them in, court and say, Judge, we're asking you to declare this contract null and void because they're in breach, we went out, we don't owe them anything, they haven't performed. Now, there may be some argument that even though they haven't fully performed, there's a legal argument called quantum merit, right? Like we should at least pay them for what they've
That's what I was
done,
starting
right?
with, the value,
You know, the
how much
value-
should we retain?
Is there, maybe it's not the full 50,000, or maybe it's not the full amount, but they might have done, let's say, $20,000 worth of work,
Yeah.
or 30, or something like that. That is probably where you would find yourself, is we would be saying, hey, look, we don't think we owe anything, and they are gonna come in and say, well, we did do X, Y, and Z. And I think a court would say, yeah, you know, nothing's free in this world, you should
Right.
pay what you
Right.
got. And,
We
but,
paid them some,
right,
So what's, all we left owing them is just the
That's-
40-some
It's the
thousand,
final.
is the final payout, so we paid them for everything up to.
yeah, but there's an ongoing, right, every year.
I think it was for up to 5 years of the payment.
Okay, so I think you wanna make sure we're not on the hook for another
That's
year.
what I'm
or
saying,
two.
what's my total? Do I owe 40-some thousand from them, and I'm already in default of 2 more years of payment, so I actually owe them 140?
Yeah, I mean, that's where I think we would want that declaratory action to say, look, we were in this agreement for 5 years, and they never even did the initial first year stuff that they said they were gonna do. So, Judge, we want you to declare breach of contract on them. We don't owe them for years 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll pay them whatever the value of whatever
Value
they've done,
of work performed.
work performed, but we want you to declare this contract breached by them and
And
us relieved.
That'd be handled locally in our courts, right? They would have to come here.
Yeah,
They
they
would
would,
have to.
right. I'm gonna need to double check that, make sure I don't think the contract has, I don't remember it having anything in there. Sometimes they have a forum
Where you
selection
have
clause,
to-
like,
Right.
I wanna double check and make sure it doesn't say, well, we have to sue them in South Dakota
That's what I
or
was wondering,
some
yeah.
federal court or arbitration or something like that. I don't think it says that, but I'll double check. And, I can report back next month if you want, if
That'd
you
be
haven't
fine.
heard
If
anything,
it's-
and,
If it's feasible for us to do so,
okay,
I would like to pursue that and put this thing to rest instead of it just hanging over Ridgeville.
okay.
I mean, at some point, someone's gonna get sideways and they're gonna show up and then someone's gonna be looking at
Yeah.
a couple $100,000 and possibly, and it just depends how it all goes, you know what I mean? I
Right.
don't wanna hang us on it, so. Okay, we'll table from our side. Wes is gonna find out some of the finer details of the situation and advise us next meeting. Elizabeth Schmitz, David Bogan, Wes is contacting Heather Clemens.
Yeah, I'm still working on that. Heather was gone a lot of the month of July. She was on a cruise from, I think I told you in June, her mother passed away, so we've been in contact, so I'm continuing to follow up on that with her.
Okay, we'll table it.
After the last meeting, I think I did send Tony sent me the invoice or something, that I
Is
didn't
this the one
have
where
that.
somebody put the cheater in?
Yeah, Elizabeth, I believe, was renting this
She got the
property.
bill and the fine and.
Somebody
she
went
took
down
control
there,
over
she
it.
didn't hire the
Yeah.
person or
Yes,
have anything to do
Property
with it.
management potentially is the one on the hook for,
Right,
for the
whoever they
fiasco.
hired,
right,
the plumber they hired, actually, I think did the damage, so.
yeah, they broke something. Okay. Sidewalk in front of the Matthews Building, James Miller has won the bid on that, I am told. Has he contacted you guys?
He said
Oh,
on
they were-
7/16, it would be 2 to 3 weeks.
So I talked to Tony about that, I think Monday or Tuesday. You know him more, or Jeff knows him better than I do. I think that would be better coming from one of you two.
I'll ask him about it.
Just have him careful.
We haven't heard a word on it.
I'll ask him to contact the town and you guys to find out. I mean, I know the weather's been, he had stopped, he's gonna be doing some concrete work for me for a while too. And he had thought a week or two ago, he was going to try to work on, he's got 2 or 3 in the area that he wants to do all at once. And I know that he got rained out the few days that he told me that he would be my direction or in town. And it's rained quite a bit since then, but I will have him contact you, but I also will, and I'll just tell you what he tells me.
Okay, that'd be fine, yeah. We didn't know how long it's gonna be, and I know
I mean, people have schedules they have to do and everything. We just
Yeah.
don't wanna, we don't wanna get into October with, we had the festival and everything else and have that all tore
Right.
up.
Right, right.
So surely we won't get that far out, but that'll be fine.
I hope it's not that far, 'cause I got, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Any other old business? Jeff? Bill? Us? Kristen?
Nope.
All right, moving to new business. Betsy Jasinski's Mobile Market.
All right, so she wanted you guys to be, excuse me, be aware of how many individuals they actually served this year and how many households total, and then she also included this year's contract. Not sure whether you guys have to vote on it and say yes. It's
I already
signed,
signed it.
So,
Yeah,
but she did want you guys to see the numbers.
I think in the past we voted to continue with it, right? If not, I make a motion to continue with the mobile market as long as she's willing to work.
Well, I look at if you can help 5 families, help 5
They
families.
helped
We helped a
over
bunch.
500 households, so
Yeah,
that's,
she's got a grand total of 25 and 26. So it looks like in 25 it was 337 households, 1,005 individuals. And then here in the year 26, it's been 231 households, average of 655 individuals. So that's good. It's working. It's always busy when they're up here. I see that quite a few people, and I think the Busy Homemakers set up a little thing. And there's been a health fair going on at the same time, and all kinds of little things going on. So it's a good thing for Ridgeville. I did sign the contract. They called me, well, evidently on the 20th, because they were here and they're like, hey, contract's done after today. So if you guys want to review that or not. Title VI ADA compliance.
all right, so first I need to start with, we got a quote from Brooks for the roads. And they quoted us at $181,570. It's an 80-20, so our 20% match is $36,314, and we have budgeted $40,000. So we
Perfect. Great job.
And they're talking like 8 different roads, like Orchard Street, George to Portland, George Street, Orchard to First, Portland Street, Orchard to East Main Street, Post Office Alley to Town Limits, Walnut Street, 4th to Camden, Camden Street, 4th to Legion Parking Lot, 4th Street, Walnut to Camden, and 5th Street, George to Sheridan.
Wow.
That's,
And then we're continuing to
We're
budget.
gonna take 5th all the way to Sheridan. I figured it just went to Portland.
Wow.
so everything that's tore up down there is gonna get,
Fantastic. That was a really good move on your guys' part to
Yeah.
foresight to get with other communities on how they were budgeting that in, so we have that cumulative fund for that.
there's
And
a lot of
continue.
budget to do it.
Well, there's that hurdle we've seen to cross, so.
Can I see that?
All right, so with that, she said the title, we've done the Title VI and the ADA compliance, did the quiz, sent it into the state, they have to grade it so we can get our certification back. We just have to do like annual training with employees. There's notices we have to do. There are papers you guys have to sign, well, you have to sign, and there's one, I believe, that every council member has to sign. This one's for every council member. And then for the Title VI, Tom, you just have to sign.
So do we don't have to adopt anything with this, do we, Wes?
I would make a motion, or I'm not making a motion, but if I were you, I can't make the motion,
The
but.
Council of Ridgeville
Adopt.
accepts and adopts the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA Transition Plan, and we'll sign it and move forward.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You have to sign those two.
Also make a motion that we accept the implementation plan of the Title VI 2026 for the town of Ridgeville. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. What's the date, 14th?
I'm sorry,
Today's date, the 14th?
14th, yes.
BSM group, they've been emailing for right-of-way permits. They're gonna come install the fiber for Surf Internet, and we don't know what to do. We don't want it to be a mess again. We're not sure, because this is new territory for both of us, so she's like, this is up to you guys on how you wanna handle that.
So that's a different company than the one that was this year?
Yeah, I think there might be like a
What's her
subcontractor.
name?
This Barry, isn't it?
BSM group is the new group that's contacted us.
How do we protect ourselves?
I sent Tony, the right-of-way permit ordinance that I've done. I think it'd probably be a good idea if you would look into passing something like that. I don't know whether we can get it in place before they are starting.
Right.
But I would definitely recommend that you guys pass one, especially if you're gonna get, some streets paved here sometime in the near future. Because, it's not just your internet, it could be the gas company coming in. I know that happened to Dunkirk a few years ago, where they had a whole bunch of streets paved through a community crossings grant. And then like 6 months later, the gas company came in and cut all those streets that they had recently just paved. And so they had, at that point in time, had nothing in place. And so there were a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth to get and it wasn't the gas company, it was the subcontractor that they used to get them to put them back correctly, right? And so what we did was we built in, some provisions within that right-of-way ordinance to say, it's gonna be put back to the town's specifications, not just throw some stone and some concrete in there. So, if you've got this nice newly paved road, making sure that, if they're gonna do so many cuts, if they do more than so many cuts in a block, they have to repave the whole block, right? They can't just go in, we don't wanna have 5 cuts
Right.
in a block, if you're gonna cut 5 or whatever it is, so.
This is to install the fiber optic.
They're just pulling,
itself.
they're pulling.
So they should just pull the wire, all everything else is put in the ground.
I mean, I don't know what they're exactly that they're doing, but I think, the cat may be already out of the bag on the digging and the
Yeah.
tearing up of your right of way. If this is just them pulling wires through, it's probably not, I would think, much in the way of
But you
damage,
never
but
know.
well, you don't
Well,
know, but.
if they pull and get wire stuck, they're gonna have to dig
Dig
and
it
find
up.
out why that kind
But I
of
think it's a
situation.
good idea we get something set in stone. before we put
Oh,
it-
absolutely. Do we have anything?
I thought Barry was doing
He said he
this.
sent you one that we done for another community.
Oh, yes, and Randy and I were gonna go over that, we
Okay.
really haven't.
Well,
Is there something we can have them come and sign? Can we make
Well,
up a contract?
part of this ordinance is to have them sign an indemnity agreement, right? That they're going to indemnify and hold the town harmless from any damage that they do. So that's part of, I think what I sent you is that'll be in the ordinance, right? So there's gonna be an application that they're gonna come in and fill out. And that's the other thing too is, forcing them to the table. I think we put in the ordinance, we need to know, I don't know if it's 30 or 60 days ahead of time, because these contractors are just gonna come in and like what happened in Dunkirk is, had there been a little communication when the gas company came in to replace these lines, we could have held off on some paving.
Yeah,
And
well, that's what I'm thinking about here.
because
They
they
were getting ready to.
we could have said, hey, would you wait, a couple months because they're gonna come down this street and replace all the gas lines, and none of that happened. They just showed up and bang, 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 they're cutting brand new,
Kind of
newly
like out
paved
here on the
streets.
highway.
Yeah, so take a look at it, and I can, if you've got suggestions before the next meeting, but I would definitely think you guys.
They're already here working.
Yeah, well, they haven't started any of that yet, cause they're waiting to
What are
hear,
they
cause it's
driving around
actually
doing?
Comcast that's running the fiber, and I'm like, oh.
Like Comcast is the umbrella company.
That's that truck that says Barry with an E, E-R-R-Y,
Yes,
Barry.
they're the ones that've been here the
They're-
whole time digging.
What are they doing now? I seen them from port to port. I thought they were pulling wire.
No, they haven't started running the fiber yet.
They pulled some down there on the corner of 7th and Portland. I seen them one day down there.
I don't know. What's this BSM that's running all the fiber is what I've been told.
I would say at this point, you don't have a right-of-way permit. process, but I would recommend you get one in play. It may be too late for this situation, but
That's what I was wondering, so what do I tell them, just,
there is no right of way
There's-
permit. I mean,
Can we, and there's no way we can have them just sign an indemnity contract or clause with us, a separate one for saying, hey, if you tear some stuff up, you're gonna fix it until we get this in place?
give it a shot, yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
okay, well, I told them that we were meeting with you today and that I would get back
I'll
with them.
send you
so.
the indemnity agreement, and then I would recommend we work on
Getting it
that
finalized.
ordinance put in place, maybe
Okay.
by next meeting.
Yeah.
Because it will need to be published, because it'll have fees in it and fines, for non-compliance, so they're gonna have to pay a
I
permit
mean,
fee.
while you're on the subject of all this stuff,
Uh-huh.
can't we do the same thing when we hire contractors to build?
Yes.
Yeah.
And people to do water towers, if we couldn't put a clause in there that you're fined if it's not done?
that'll be a
It's
contract they give you to accept the work. though.
Yeah, generally that's a
You're
liquidated
pushing that far.
damages provision, and that's in a lot of contracts, but we can, I mean, contracts are just a negotiation, right? So if if you get one, just keep that in mind. We can always go back and say, hey, there's a penalty, so many $100 a day for every day that the work isn't complete, type
So
thing.
what was you talking about? I remember hearing it, so many cuts is so much money or something?
Well, so what we decided in Dunkirk, and I think in Portland as well, is that if they, and I can't remember the number, whether it was 4, it's probably in there, the one because I think I said
Okay.
Tony Dunkirk's. If there were that many or more within a block, the city requires them to repave the whole block, not just fill it back in with concrete or asphalt, because
Give us a washboard.
you're gonna have that washboard effect. So we said if it's just one, okay, fine, put it back, repave it, whatever. But if it's more than that, we want the whole thing.
Yeah, we don't want a new or a decent road turned into a big giant patch.
Look like 7th Street down by View.
Yeah, we used to do this. Ordinance 2026 ordinance amending trash rates for town residents.
Okay, so it'll go up to 15 this year, 16 next, 17 the following.
It's better than a lot of other
I've
communities.
seen it
Yeah.
30 and
Pretty
31,
good for
35.
us. Oh, they always have been though,
Yeah.
so they feel sorry for us or something. Ordinance 2026-7, ordinance amending rates for right collection and removal of trash for town residents. I'll just read this one time and then we'll move to accept. Whereas town has advertised for bids for the collection and removal of trash for town residents and accepted the bid of best way for such services. Whereas a bid was awarded for 3 years of increasing rates for collection, be it ordained. Town Council, Town of Ridgeville, Indiana, the Town of Ridgeville shall charge the following sums to each resident requiring trash collection service to the Town of Ridgeville and its subcontractor Best Way. Effective September 1, 26, $15. Effective September 1st, 27, $16. Effective September 1st, 2028, $17. So basically $1 a year, like Tony stated. This ordinance shall become effective upon publication of the same required by law. I make a motion we accept, adopt. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance 2026-8 for additional appropriation.
Okay, this is just the opioid unrestricted, and I requested $1,013. This is stuff that Janet is helping me, so we have to have this done, it's budget, cleaning up.
Budget related, making things
Yes.
correct. Okay. Ordinance 2026-8 for additional appropriation. I'm gonna read this by title only. I can do that, right, Wes?
Yep.
Town of Ridgeville ordinance number 2026-8 for additional appropriations for budgeting. Make a motion to accept. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I always ask you, because sometimes some of you, you're required to do more. Can you just get away with by title only now?
Yeah.
And once and not 3 times by title?
Yeah.
Depending on the severity of it.
Depending on it, like if there was, what I would say is if you're gonna pass it, if it passes unanimously, you can get by with 1 reading. If it doesn't pass unanimously,
Opposition.
you should have 2 readings on 2 separate meetings, or two readings, so.
Understood. Reduction resolution 2026.
This is for the MVH restricted, which was the 40,000 that we had budgeted in for the street grant that we didn't get this year, so it's for next year's stuff, I guess.
Resolution 2026-8, I'm gonna read by title only. A resolution to amend the 2026 budget by reducing certain appropriations. I'll read the appropriation, MVHRE Repair and Maintenance Fund. We moving this?
Well, it's because we didn't use it this year, is the way I understood it. We didn't use it in 26, so we've got to
Take it down,
do that, and
we'll move
then
it.
we'll have it next year.
Gotcha. I'll make a motion that we accept. All in favor? Aye.
A second, aye.
Second, aye. Ordinance 2026-9, establishing town donation fund.
This was just for like the tornado siren, trying to get some stuff straightened out, because like Busy Homemakers had us pay for the flower pots, and I'm like, I don't know, we're gonna pay for that out, but then they reimbursed us, and she's like, you guys really need to create a donation fund for all this stuff to run through, so that's
Keep it
just.
clean?
Yep.
Okay. Ordinance 2026-9, I'll read by title only. An ordinance establishing a town donation fund for the town of Ridgeville, Indiana. I make a motion that we accept. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Contract for animal control, City of Winchester renewal. Did they even help us?
Yeah,
Good.
yes, they have. And actually, he's working on, when we get this signed, he's got one, he's gonna take over that. So it's $1,000. Everything's pretty well, it's the same, same exact, just renewing it for another year.
You say it's been working out pretty good for us so far.
I think so.
Well, if it wasn't, you'd be the first two to know. Contract for animal control calls and animal shelter services and containment, City of Winchester. Make a motion that we accept the contract. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Peterson Consulting Services, capital assets.
This is the guy that helped us get all of our stuff in order,
Mhm.
made all these fancy spreadsheets.
So we can get our grants for roads and things and all that good stuff?
I don't know if we have, this is like all the capital asset stuff, I don't know if that has anything to do with that, but, he just sent us an email, and he's already starting on.
We've already started for next
Yeah.
year.
So to use him again and make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be until we really learn what we're doing, it's
Mhm.
$2,800, $2,850 for 26. So he was initially like, I think it was 6,000 last year.
Between 5 and 7, if I remember
It
correctly.
was like 6.
And then, there was a guy that was cheaper, but I didn't have a lot of faith in him.
No,
I talked
he
to
was-
some other
he was the
communities.
cheaper guy. That was the cheapest guy. The more expensive guy is the guy we wanted.
So let me ask a
It's
question.
way better, but.
Okay.
Does he, if he does something wrong, he covers it?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, if anything's not.
He's super smart. He's great.
Well, I know we had
So it's better
before
than
you, we
this
had
one.
a gentleman we thought,
Well, I know during our audit, like, we got dinged for a lot of our capital asset stuff because it was not accurate or up to date at all since like 2014 maybe.
And he
So-
really helped me like rein everything in and.
If I remember correctly, I think that, in the past, most of the time we had a capital asset plan was for grants, for big grants, and I think the engineers helped us with it, so they could get their end of it, but I don't think it was ever accurate or correct, to be honest. I think it was whatever it needed to be for the process to follow through.
Probably.
So I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, I have no issues with this. You guys? I make a motion that we accept the contract and continue. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, he's the guy that Lynn uses.
Yeah,
okay,
Refer us to him.
now I
I
know
can't
who you're
remember
talking about,
who-
yeah.
I know there was one. I don't know, there was three names we had or something, wasn't it?
I think just 2. I think we have him and then that other guy that Janet.
Maybe I asked somebody about it, and they just gave me a name, they said, remember this name and don't call that guy. So I was like,
You talked to the Lynn people before you
Yeah.
talked to him, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
all right, we have leak adjustments.
There's actually another one that got added after I already did the agenda, so. There's Beverly Wilkinson, Amanda Doss, Tanya Paris.
This is
They've
all
all been
legit.
checked, they've sent their paperwork, proof,
Okay, so they're following
yes,
guidelines we set
Awesome.
forth.
yep.
Wonderful. Did we sign this the last time, just signed it on paper that we
I think
acknowledged
one of
it?
you, I think one of you've been signing it, and then Randy signs it, and then we,
I make a motion that we approve and accept the rate adjustments for these two. They followed the guidelines set before them and taken care of their issues. Brad, second.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing September 8th, reading of budget.
that's just kind of a reminder. We know that that's gotta happen at our next meeting, that it's the public hearing.
Okay. Any other new business?
Tornado siren. I got an email finally yesterday at like 4 AM from Chris Shaneyfelt that they've got our stuff set up in their console, and we have to get permission, or he wants to know if you guys want the county to do the testing on Saturdays at noon like they do everybody else, which
Yeah, let's not change anything.
yeah.
Let's just get it. Absolutely.
And so now, I reached out to Century Siren yesterday, I still have not heard back from Michael yet. They have to contact J&K Communications to get that tones done, and then they can test or whatever, so we're getting closer.
Is that the British guy?
But weather,
No.
the way it's been,
Yeah.
let's
The
just
other
wait
guy.
till, you know.
Wait till winter.
Yeah.
Did you see that one touchdown for Portland?
Yeah, yeah, that's wild.
It formed right behind my house.
So that was just an update, but yeah.
Well, it jumped down just past Carl Miller, right here across. And
Yeah.
then it started in that field, you can see all the corn down, jumped the road, went over 800.
Wow.
The one that went across 27.
Yeah.
So that was just for you guys to see what
I'm
you
probably
said.
slow to it.
I was standing on the running board of my van going, that looks like a tornado.
Mhm.
My son come out and got in the van, he said, Dad, is this what Armageddon looks like? I said, this is the end of the end of the world's gonna look like, and it was completely black. It was a big gray cloud spinning. Everything was sucking up into it. The gray cloud kind of went away. It was just like column of black right in the middle
And
of
they
it.
never called that one until, it took them 2 or 3 days to call that one.
Okie dokie.
The next, I have one more thing, actually 2 more things. Janet and I have been working on budget stuff, and she said that I need to find out about raises this year. She said if you guys agree, she would recommend no more than a 2% raise if we do it again. Huh?
Didn't we already do that this year?
You have to do it every year. Decide,
Right. For next year, right?
right?
For 27.
Okay, I thought we already did it for this year.
Yeah.
Cost of living increase, they call it. Of course, it doesn't really catch you. Okay.
So I don't know if that's anything you guys, like, I think I would probably have to know
Probably
before
want
this
to do
next
that
meeting.
before, yeah.
We have to do
Yes.
it
Before the budget
for the
hearing, because she's
hearing.
gonna wanna advertise the budget with that increase in there. and
Yes.
Be able to vote on that, or at least discuss it at the next meeting. And you can always, you can't go up after you remember, so with your budget, so once you've had your public hearing, you can always go down, but you can't go back and add. So if you're gonna put something in, I'd recommend you put it in, and then you can always take it out after the first reading.
I mean, we would approve it the same day, we could do it now or we can do it then, right?
Well,
So, yeah,
she's
we
gotta
agree.
advertise
Right.
for the first of the budget, so if have her put it in now, and then you guys can discuss it and say, yeah, we're
Yeah,
good
we
with
can
this.
just add it in now that we agreed with a 2% increase to be added to the 2027 budget.
And then if you change your mind.
Right, we
take
don't
it
have
out.
to implement it.
Right.
Anything else?
I got an email yesterday, yesterday. I think it was yesterday. From the Lieutenant Governor's Division of Grant Services regarding the Okra. I believe I forwarded it to everyone.
Yeah, I printed it off. I was gonna ask you what you guys wanted to do about it.
Okay, well, yeah, because that's where I was like, and then
Well-
I did email it to Beth and Lori too.
Okay,
And Lori responded this morning, and she said, please let me know if anything, well, Beth, she said, please let me know if anything from me if you need anything for me to assist with the response of the findings. I have reviewed the letter and do not think there are any items for me, but let me know if I missed something or if there's information I can provide to help in response. And then she's got it broke down like labor standards, 5 findings, financial management, 3 findings, plus issue of note, and general performance of admin, 3 findings, letter from town required.
I read it this morning.
I was like,
Yeah, it was, I saw one place where it said the clerk
I know, I was
specifically.
like,
And
I mean, I think that falls back on your
previous.
people
Yeah,
that were
That
supposed to
was-
be out doing this closeout, you know? I mean, we had so much trouble getting them to even do the grant closeout stuff, and I sent that email, and lo and behold, the next day, I submitted that yesterday, you know? It's like,
Yeah, sure you did,
yeah,
right.
and it's screwed up.
It's evidence of it right here that they did not, so,
Mhm.
I mean, the biggest, from when I read through it, the performance administration that come back on us was these grants, the grantee, which would be the town of Ridgeville, failed to meet report deadlines, all of them, which we were relying back on Kenna. What's her name?
Beth Johnson.
Yeah, I don't know how she thinks she's got nothing in any of this. I mean,
I don't
the
think-
first few pages were, had to do with Judy construction. Did you read this too? Is there anything that you think that,
I don't think there's anything in there that is the town's fault or responsibility. I mean, ultimately, yes, it is, because you're the grantee, but
well,
I
in
mean,
charge of
it's-
the people we hired, I guess, but we can't
we
force them.
relied on consultants and professionals, and so.
Well, from the one part when Randy and I went over it, yesterday, it was something to do with money that we received, and the clerk was to issue that out
Within
within
the
5
certain-
days, and they didn't, so I have to,
Right
it's saying
here.
that I have to prepare a letter in response to that, and I'm like, I wasn't even here. So,
Maybe we just, does it have to be an official letter or an email?
I'll probably just do something on town letterhead, yeah, I think I would.
And then mail it?
And
Or-
well, you could probably send it by email. I mean, I think that's,
Yeah,
since
that's what I
that came
meant.
by email, yeah,
Yeah, we can just
Just
do it on
attach it.
letterhead and then,
yeah.
maybe just briefly explain that you weren't a part of it. That,
Yeah.
I mean, the clerks have changed, the council has since changed. But that was the 2 things here, is the money within 5 days, 11 days. It was a requirement to be sent in within 5 business days, it never was. So it was 7 business days instead of 5, 11 instead of 5, 17 instead of 5. So, am I on the hook on this anywhere? Good, okay. Me and Tony are okay? Okay.
When I talked to that guy on the phone,
He,
and, you know, he's like, look, I'm sending this out, I know it sounds bad, not this one, but
Oh,
the
that
time
Adam.
before, yeah. And he's like, I
yeah,
get
you
it.
called, we talked.
Yeah, yeah, and so, I mean, I think this is just more of a, like, he understood, like, it's not,
I talked to him, he called me too, and he said, I'm not looking to harass you or,
right,
you know, we're not threatening you, but I've gotta do something.
I gotta get a
I've got to
response.
do something here
Yeah.
because no one
no one's
seems to
responding.
taking me seriously.
Right,
I'm like, dude, we're trying. I'll have Wes call you.
right, yeah.
That's why we had that long talk.
Well, several times.
Mm.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this guy's. I mean, the only one time in my life I didn't take him seriously, he did threaten to throw me in jail. It's Kevin Green. All right, if there's no other business,
did you guys vote to do this again?
Yeah,
Okay,
I already signed the contract too that day up here.
okay,
In the parking lot.
she couldn't be here today, but wanted to,
No, but I read it out,
okay,
told everybody about it.
okay.
We appreciate her and everything she's doing with it. We got lucky getting her to take that over,
I
to
know.
do it for us. There's no other business to bring before this council. What's the next
September.
proposed, September 8th? Right up here, tell them. Do this, we'll see it. September 8th, 2026. No other further business, I make a motion we adjourn. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye.